Welcome back to AI for the Humanities. I'm Megan McInnes Dominguez, Associate Professor of Spanish at the University of Delaware. Today, I'm pleased to reintroduce Ajah Edwards, a senior majoring in criminal justice with a minor in Arabic, who's been researching AI applications in our Humanities internship program. Ajah brings a unique perspective to Microsoft Copilot, examining it not just as a productivity tool, but through the lens of cross-cultural understanding and justice. Her background in Arabic studies and criminal justice shapes how she approaches questions of bias, representation, and power in AI systems. In this video, she demonstrates Copilot's translation and research capabilities while maintaining critical awareness of what gets lost when we prioritize efficiency over cultural nuance. You'll see practical demonstrations of Copilot within Microsoft 365, learn about subscription options and accessibility, and explore how platform-integrated AI differs from standalone tools like ChatGPT. But what makes this video particularly valuable is Ajah's emphasis on ethical implementation, how to document AI use transparently, verify outputs against primary sources, and design assignments that preserve intellectual integrity while leveraging AI's capabilities. If you're working within Microsoft's ecosystem or wondering how to integrate AI tools responsibly into humanities workflows, this video offers both practical guidance and the critical framework we need to use these tools thoughtfully.
Hello, welcome back to AI for Humanities. If you missed my first video, my name is Ajah Edwards. I'm a criminal justice major with a minor in Arabic here at the University of Delaware, and my AI tool is Microsoft Copilot. As stated in my previous video, Microsoft Copilot is an innovative assistant designed to boost productivity, creativity, and research capabilities. Before moving forward in the video, I'm just going to go over my table of contents to give you an overview of what we'll be discussing today. Starting off with the introduction, which we've already got through, a deep dive demonstration of two things, a text analysis and a translation in action, in which I'll be translating a couple phrases from Arabic to English. Then we have a comparative analysis, an ethical and cultural analysis, a personal reflection, and of course, our conclusion to conclude the video. Alright, so the purpose of this video, in this video, I'll be exploring how Microsoft Copilot contributes to humanities research and a wider implication across society and educational institutions. Specifically, I'll show how it supports three key functions valuable to humanities: translation, text analysis, and automated research. Alright, so let's discuss a couple of key insights from my first video. So I have number one, growing roles of AI humanities. I also shared my personal experience with AI in my last video, along with some ethical considerations and AI limitations, and AI's contribution to digital heritage. Alright, still on key insights from my first video, I'll just take a deeper dive into what we've previously discussed on the last slide. Starting with the growing roles of AI in humanities. I discussed and explored how artificial intelligence is increasingly influenced the way we work, communicate, and interact in the world in our daily lives. AI just isn't limited to certain fields. Its application in humanities research are very transformative. And then I just had some personal experience with AI, of course, exploring Microsoft Copilot, going into some of its limitations, biases, and just testing things out with the voice generator, the key features within the app, and just overall learning more about Microsoft Copilot. The next, we have our ethical consideration. I acknowledged that while AI enhances productivity, it comes with some ethical challenges such as misinformation, biases, and intellectual property concerns. Always remember that human oversight is an essential to ensure AI generated content remains accurate and responsible. This is very crucial and super important when doing research, especially when using an AI device. You always want to make sure you double check the work behind it or the sources behind it, just to make sure everything is accurate and what information is being put out by the AI device just backs everything you're saying. With Microsoft Copilot, I do know if you ask something, normally they'll send you a link, especially if you're doing research. Just double check that link. Often I'll click the link, or what I'll do is take what they said on the website, just copy and paste it into like a search bar on Safari or Google, and see if an article pops up that matches the article, one of the articles that they provided me. And that's normally how I move about it. Or you can choose to do it other ways. As long as it's accurate, that's all that matters. Accurate and reliable. That's all that counts. Then lastly, we have the AI contributions to digital heritage, on which I also discussed in my last video, which basically talked about a research project that I found on Microsoft website itself, which basically discussed digital heritage through research, and how the preservation of the digital aspects of like ancestral things, culture, societies, race, and gender, basically all combined together, which was researched, helped, and empowered by AI tools, which helped researchers uncover insights about society and cultures, which will advance in the future. All right. So now let's take a closer look at Copilot's subscriptions options, and just understanding the general aspects of each payment plan and which best supports you. All right, so here's a view of the Copilot plans. I believe in my last video I talked about 2 plans. Here are all the plans that Microsoft has to offer within Copilot, or apps paired with Copilot. So starting off with the free Copilot, which obviously is free. Access Windows, web, Mac, iPad, and even mobile apps. Key features: image generating. You get a 15-day boost. 15 boosts a day. Do you have GBT access during non-peak hours? Real-time info. Next, we have Copilot Pro, which is $20 a month. Comes with all free features, plus Word, Excel, Outlook, also on the web, and you get 100 image boosts a day. Key features: faster GPT-4 access. Do you have Copilot for Microsoft 365, which is $30 a month, normally used for business only. Key features: integrated with Teams, Word, Excel, dashboards, and other custom agents. Then lastly, we have Copilot Studio, which is $200 a month. Accessed advanced customization. And key features: build and test AI plugins, with also a 30-day free trial, which if you're interested in, I highly suggest taking advantage of. But before moving on, I will discuss, when you're purchasing Copilot or like making subscriptions on Copilot, everything after the free Copilot, when you do on like Word, because it automatically doesn't come with Word, when you do it on Word, normally it's a bit, you have to pay for that subscription on Word separately from what you're paying with Copilot. They do offer you a free subscription, and how you will figure out what subscription plan works best for you, you'll go on either Word or Excel. You'll click on your login, click on your account, or you click on settings and just manage subscription, and that show you like a list of subscriptions for you right there. They do give you a 15-day free trial, I believe, for you to test things out. Moving on. Alright, so deep dive, let's begin exploring the free version of Microsoft Copilot, which is ideal for casual users like myself who just wants to explore the capabilities of Copilot. Alright, so during my demonstration, I decided to do two things: a text analysis with Copilot and a translation in action, which I'll be going through step by step, starting with the text analysis with Copilot. Alright, so first I'm just going to read off the steps, then we'll get into the demonstration step by step. So number one, I just have prepared a text, ensure that the text you want is in a document or a spreadsheet that Copilot can access. Number two, access Copilot. So basically when you open your application like Excel or Word, you'll just click the Copilot ribbon or menu button to access the Copilot. Then we have define your analysis request. Once you click and access that Copilot button, you'll type in a prompt that you're looking for, that the question that you wanted to answer, and then submit the request by clicking the arrow. Then you'll review and refine your answer. Now with this, you can keep it the same. You can choose to add or take away from it if it's not your standard quality or it's given some biased information. You can choose to rearrange that however you would like, and also just utilize the results. You can either decide to leave it or add upon it. So now let's get into our first demonstration. Okay, so let me take this away first, just to give you a step by step. Okay, so you can see here, I'll make it full screen. We have the text. Text is of the hare and the tortoise, which is basically a fable. I'm pretty sure most of us either heard of or read up during our childhood. So going back to the first step, pick the Palmer story we have, which we do have here. It's already out. And what we're going to do is next, we're going to click that Copilot ribbon. You can either find it here or here. It's easier to access it here. And what we'll do is we're going to click it. And the question that we're going to ask Copilot to draft is, what are the main themes in this story? And we're going to go ahead and click that arrow and submit our request. Alright. So the main themes in this story, we have persistence versus overconfidence, humility, the reward of patience, and the effort over natural ability. Now, if we all read The Hare and the Tortoise, we all know that what Copilot just gave us is pretty accurate to what we have. So I don't have anything to add on. But let's just say if you didn't like anything with it, or you found some misinformation, right here we have a what do you want to change. You'll just click something specific that you would like to change. You can change it, or you can click keep it, in which I'll keep, because everything looks pretty good for me. And that's pretty much just how you do like a text analysis of things on Copilot or Microsoft Word through Copilot. So yes, that was the first demonstration. Then let's go back to the presentation. Okay, oops, sorry. Alright. Then we're going to move on next. And this is for our translation action, which will be translating some Arabic phrases to English. Of course, I have number one, open up your Word document and highlight the text you want to translate. 2, click on the Review tab in the Word ribbon. 3, find the translation button and click on it. 4, select translation selection from the drop down menu. And then 5, choose the language you want to translate. Then Copilot will provide the translation and you can choose to insert. And if you want to translate the whole document, you'll select translate document instead of translate section. So let's get into that now. So we're also going to go out of this, go back on this. We're just going to switch over to right here. Okay. All right. So here, it's not an exact text, but we have a few options here. We have Ismi, Ana, Ma Ismuki, or Ismuk, or Ma Ismuk, or Ismuk. We have Marhaban. So this is a phrase for hello. So what we're going to do is we're going to highlight this first. It lets us. Okay, it lets us highlight, which is good. Now we're going to go ahead. It should be review, translate. Then we're not going to do the translation document yet. Translate selection. And right here we have marhaba or marhaban, which is hello. And we can go ahead and check it on the website as well, which is where I got it from. I got it from lingapp.com. So according to lingapp.com, let me see. Sorry, I'm trying to look for it on the website. Okay, right here. Marhaban, hello. And if we go back here to check it out again, we have marhaban, hello. So we can try it with this text next. Okay, same thing. Translation selection. And we have my name, Ismi. So let's go back to the website. So according to lingapp.com, Ismi, your name or my name is. So you want to put it all together and ask somebody or say your name. You'll be like marhaban, which is hello. Ana, which is this one, which says I am. So it would be marhaban, Ana Ismi, Asia. That's my name. So that's how you introduce yourself in Arabic. And obviously we have the translation right here. And obviously we seen Ana means I am or me. And what we're going to do is we're going to try the document, the translate document. So let's go ahead to translate document. And we're translating from Arabic to English. And let's see what it gives us. Alright, so we have my name, Ismi, Ana, which is me or I am. Then we have what is your name. Then we have hello, marhaban. So that's how you do the translation in Word, Microsoft Word. Then we're going to go ahead and switch back to our PowerPoint for the last time to finish it off. Alright, so moving on to our comparative analysis. For this, I decided to compare and contrast Microsoft Copilot and ChatGPT. So we're going to start off with its integration. So the integration for Microsoft Copilot, built directly in the Microsoft 365 or Office 365 applications such as Word, Excel, Outlook, and Teams, versus ChatGPT, which is a standalone chat box accessed via OpenAI platforms, which is a research company that develops AI models, including GPT services. And some similarities is that it both have the natural language processing, which is the NLP. The only difference is I have personal experience with Microsoft Copilot natural language processing. I can say it's very great. It's a little bit strange. I did do a demonstration in my previous video if you would like to go check that out. But it's more so like you're having a one-on-one conversation with the human. It's just through a computer screen. Versus ChatGPT, I really haven't had much access with it. But I've heard more cons than pros with that, but it's still developing and it's still a development process. So hopefully one day the natural language processing for ChatGPT will get a little bit better. Moving on to the academic and functionality use, we have Microsoft Copilot, which supports structured research, summarization, and document drafting, while ChatGPT is useful for brainstorming and creative writing, but lacks direct integration with academic tools. Some similarities is that it helped streamline academic workflows by offering suggestions. So, despite this thing is pretty much used for two different things, I'll use Copilot if I'm more looking for academics, versus ChatGPT, which is used for creative brainstorming. While you can also use ChatGPT for research and brainstorming and things of that nature, they both still share an offering of creating suggestions. Alright, so coding capabilities. While Microsoft Copilot assists with the structured coding such as writing Python scripts to organize and analyze data, algorithm implementation, and many more, ChatGPT offers strong coding assistance, particularly for debugging, and I did not find any similarities for this. And image generation. Generate Microsoft Copilot generates AI powered images via Microsoft Designer, while ChatGPT uses DALLE for image generation with editing tools. And I have also have personal experience for image generation for both Microsoft Copilot and ChatGPT. I personally like ChatGPT's image generation better. The only difference between Copilot and ChatGPT, Copilot often sometimes lack the visual aspect of things, I would say. When you, I've tried multiple prompts asking Copilot to, visualize something for me, and the visual image did not come out as asked versus ChatGPT. It's a little bit more like they have like their own separate image generator thing, outlet where you can type in a prompt and it gives you the image. The only thing is the words on it aren't very clear. I tried with the Arabic script on Microsoft Copilot and the words were very clear in Arabic. Alright, so ethical and cultural analysis, intellectual properties and AI generated content, AI's roles in preserving cultural heritage, and number 3, AI's and academic integrity. So still with ethical and cultural analysis, we're just going to go a little bit further, starting off with number 1, biases and AI limitations. AI biases in language and cultural framing. Copilot Copilot's responses reflect training data, sometimes missing nuanced perspectives. For example, my experience testing Copilot response to AI transformation, which showed incomplete transparency. The takeaway: AI requires human oversight to ensure diverse narratives. I talked about this in my last video, so I won't go too far, but that's just one of the biases in AI limitations. Probably one of the only ones that I came across using Copilot. Number two, intellectual property and AI generated. Citing AI content in academic work. Should AI generated summaries be acknowledged as academic contributions? For example, the University of Sydney prompts ethical AI use in education, encouraging structured learning over restrictions. And the key takeaway from this is institution must establish clear guidelines for AI citations and responsible use. So for this, this was according to an article in 2024, of course, how to use AI to learn, which was by the University of Sydney in Australia, which discussed their students properly using AI. And this is mainly um not the only, but one of the two that I talked about, where both students and teachers partnered to come up with some suggestion on how to properly use AI in a beneficial way that they can still be using it for things such as papers and research while still being within the the concept of academic without having to be restricted, if anything, but learning how to properly cite things and just being very responsible while using AI, which is what we also learned in this course as well. Then moving on to number three, we have AI role in cultural heritage and digital humanities, which is something I also talked about in my last video, so I won't go too much in. I just pretty much said how AI supports preservation, Copilot contributes to storytelling, linguistic analysis, and historical research. And lastly, we have AI in global education versus U.S. institutions. So this was according to an article also in 2024, Students AI Guide, which was a guide presented by students and teachers at the University of Wollongong. I hope I am pronouncing that correct. And also in Australia, where students provide an AI guide for responsible student research, for them to be able to use AI in their not in at their universities, while U.S. institutions often prohibit AI under strict academic integrity rules, which is something also that the University of Delaware stands by. Not all courses, of course, because obviously this course right here allows us to use Copilot, but in several other of my courses here and at my previous university, AI was very limited, and you did get a severe consequence if you were caught using AI, because that would be considered academic dishonesty, I believe, where it's some professors take it as a form of cheating, basically. So I just thought it was very interesting how students overseas and in Australia come up with these things with their teachers to be able to use AI in a beneficial way. And I thought that would be hopefully something that the US could implement. Not saying that we don't have any guidebooks, because we do. I've also looked up some guidebooks in the US, which are at Princeton University, the University of Arizona. If you go on their library website and click AI, like just type in AI in the search bar, you can find articles published by their students and faculty, which is really not like a guidebook of proper use. It's just telling you basically the cons of AI. Not saying that all of them were bad. I really didn't get a chance to read too much into it, but it has a mixture of both pros and cons, but it's not as descriptive as the guidebooks were in Australia. And the key takeaway was that is the future of AI in education depends on the strategic adaptation rather than outright bans. So moving on to the personal reflection, what I've learned from AI for humanities and Microsoft Copilot. Just before getting into this, or before taking this course, I had very limited knowledge of AI. I was only aware of the things that I've heard from professors and other students. I did use AI tools such as ChatGPT. While in this course and being assigned Microsoft Copilot, this was my first time using Microsoft Copilot, and I can absolutely say it has been a life-changing experience, and I've learned so much, not only from this device, but from my research as well. Just expanding my understanding of AI and humanities. Just coming into this course, I had a broad awareness, like I said, of AI's impact on society, but not necessarily the role it played in humanities research. Exploring Copilot showed me how AI can assist with linguistic analysis, storytelling, cultural preservation, and forensic linguistics, areas that directly align with my academic interests. It also shifted my perspective on AI in education. Like I stated in the previous slide, one of the most eye-opening moments was discovering how International University integrates AI into structured learning, contrasting with the restrictions in U.S. institutions. Like the University of Sydney student-led AI guide inspired me to rethink how academic institutions can balance innovative with responsible AI use. Also, challenges and ethical considerations. While Copilot enhanced my workflow, helping with summarization, translation, and visual storytelling, I also encountered limitations such as occasional bias in responses and the need for human oversight and cultural analysis. This was a big one for me, I would say, learning, because when I first started using AI on ChatGPT, I automatically thought it was always correct. So figuring out that they're not always correct, which is something that I should have known as a college student and as somebody in higher education. I should have known this, but it was just very eye opening, and it made me more self-aware of how to properly use AI devices rather than just going with basically whatever they say and just moving forward without double checking. Then we just have practical skills and future applications. I learned how to craft more precise prompts and refining AI responses for more deeper academic engagement. I was always used to simple prompts with AI. It's okay to be simple, but I've also learned how to be very descriptive with prompts while being simple to get the exact answer that I'm looking for. Because at the end of the day, it's still an AI device. It doesn't read minds. So the more specific I am, the more I'll get out of it. And then my final takeaway, AI as a collaborative tool. My perspective has shifted from seeing AI as merely a convenience to recognize its collaborative companion in academic settings. While concerns about bias and misinformation in academic integrity remains important, I now view AI as a powerful ally when used strategically and ethically. Alright, I want to thank you all for watching my video and tuning in once again. If you have any questions and comments, just please leave below and let's continue this conversation about AI with humanities going. I also want to thank my professor, Professor Dominguez. This was a very good course. She's a very great professor. She's very well experienced in this. I was able to learn a lot from not only her but my peers as well in this course. And I just really want to thank you all for watching my video, and I hope you enjoyed this series.
Thank you for joining us for Ajah's thoughtful analysis of Microsoft Copilot in humanities contexts. Her approach demonstrates something essential, that the most powerful AI demonstrations aren't just about what these tools can do, but about maintaining awareness of what they can't and shouldn't replace. Ajah's comparison between Copilot and ChatGPT reveals how platform integration affects both accessibility and accountability. When AI is embedded in the tools we already use, it becomes easier to incorporate, but also easier to use unreflectively. Her emphasis on documentation, recording prompts, citing AI contributions, and maintaining clear boundaries between AI assistance and original analysis provides a practical framework for responsible use. The ethical considerations she raises are particularly important for humanities educators. When AI tools default to majority cultural perspectives, we need to deliberate strategies to surface marginalized voices and alternative interpretations. When translation happens at the click of a button, we need assignments that require students to engage with the cultural and historical contexts that automated translation can't capture. Ajah's perspective as a criminal justice major studying Arabic brings valuable insight into these questions. She understands how language carries power, how translation can obscure as much as it reveals, and how digital tools can either perpetuate or challenge existing inequities. The practical strategies she outlines, from prompt documentation to source verification to transparent assignment design, aren't just academic exercises. They're tools for maintaining intellectual integrity in an AI-integrated world. Thank you, Ajah, for modeling how we can be both pragmatic and principled in your approach to AI in education. And thank you to our viewers for engaging with these challenging questions. Please like, subscribe, and share your own experiences with responsible AI use in humanities education.
Keep your sources loud, document the flow, let the people know justice in the data, truth in every layer. Platform integrated, one-click translate, but who wrote the algorithm? What's at stake? Of it to English context gets thin. Where's the power structure? Where do we begin? Microsoft's promise efficiency's call, but cultural meaning might stumble and fall. In the margins of the page, history's turning every age. Don't let automation erase the human story's rightful place. Ask your verify site. Don't take it at face. Every voice matters. Give credit its place. Verify site. The human eye sees what the model misses in the spaces between. Cross-cultural bridges built word by word. Make sure every community's heard. Criminal justice lens, looking for the bias. Digital heritage speaks, but who's amplified? Community stories encoded in the past. Which voices get filtered, which ones last? Subscription ties create access divides. When knowledge costs money, who decides? Algorithms learn from yesterday's news, perpetuate patterns, reinforce whose views. Question the default, challenge the norm before accepting each digital form. As verify site. Don't take it at face. Every voice matters. Give credit its place. Verify site. The human eye sees what the model misses in the spaces between. Cross-cultural bridges built word by word. Make sure every community's heard. Office 365, integration so smooth, but convenience can hide what we need to prove. When AI suggestions appear in your doc, remember to pause, take a step back and talk to primary sources, to people who know that makes knowledge grow. Document your prompts, show your work. Transparency's power when the ethics lurk. If AI helps structure market clear and true, but the analysis, that's on you. Heritage preservation starts with respect, community ownership. We must protect digital colonization. Wears a friendly face, but whose algorithm sets the pace? Ask, verify, cite. Cross-cultural site. Every translation can restore a vibe. Like verify, cite. Preserve what's real. The story belongs to those who feel justice in language, power in voice. Ethical lie is always a choice. La da 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 la da da la da da la da. Platforms got speed, humanity.